Would you like to double your income? How about increasing your income 10 times, 1,000%? Would you like that? If I can show you a simple formula that is virtually guaranteed to work to double, triple, quadruple your income, would you try it? Most people will say yes, but only about 1 in 20, according to my experience, will actually do it. Here it is, simple formula, but first, a simple question. Do you believe it is possible for you to increase your effectiveness and improve your productivity by 2% over the next month, the next 30 days? Do you think that by reading, studying, learning, upgrading your skills, managing your time a little better, working smarter as well as harder, you could boost your overall effectiveness and productivity by 0.5% per week, 2% in 1 month? Let me put it this way. Could you do it if your life depended on it? Of course you could. 1 or 2 small changes in your daily routine, a little bit better time management, a little bit more effectiveness in your key result areas could give you a 2% improvement. Now, having done it the first month, could you do it again the second month? 2% more. How about the third month? Could you, by working steadily on yourself, a little bit each day, managing your time a little better, improving your overall productivity, could you increase your performance and your effectiveness by 2% in the third month? Of course you could. Almost anyone could if they cared enough to apply themselves. In fact, by the third month, you would be into the swing of personal development and performance improvement, and it would be easier to achieve your 2% increment than it was the first month. You get onto a learning curve. Well, 2% per month, compounded, translates into 26% per year. 26% per year productivity improvement through personal development, skill enhancement, and additional training is a reasonable, believable, even modest but surely attainable goal. 26% per year compounded will equal 100% improvement in 3 years, 1,000% improvement in 10 years. And as the value of your service improves, your rewards will follow. This simple 2% formula can be the most important success formula you ever learn. I've taught it to thousands of commissioned salespeople. Many of them have used it to double their income in less than a year. One man, a 17-year veteran in his field of sales, tripled his income in 27 days using this formula. Now here's how it works. You first of all determine your aim. Do you really want to achieve great financial success in your work? Do you want it badly enough to pay the price in terms of preparation? Assuming the answer is yes, here's what you do. First of all, you stop or dramatically cut back on all those activities that do not contribute anything to your life. I'm referring to the time wasters such as television. The average adult in America spends 3 to 4 hours a night watching television. Newspapers. The average adult in America spends 1 to 3 hours reading newspapers every day. Useless magazines and aimless socializing. Then, become an avid reader. Reading is to the mind as exercise is to the body. Reading is vital to your success. Not only does it require total concentration, but you learn things by reading that you cannot learn any other way. There is no substitute for it. Surprisingly, the average adult American reads less than 1 book per year. 58% of Americans never finish a nonfiction book after they leave high school. Probably 80% of the books sold in all the bookstores are purchased by 20% of the population. And of course, it's the top 20%. The Gallup organization recently completed a study of 1,500 people listed in Marquis' Who's Who's in America and wrote it into a book called The Great American Success Story. They studied men and women considered by their peers to be among the most important contributors to life in this country. They found that these people, among other things, read an average of 20 books per year, 12 books, nonfiction, and 8 fiction. And they considered their self-development to be a vital factor in their success. And of course, they were right. In fact, if you read just 1 book per month to develop or improve yourself in some way, it will put you in the top 1% in terms of personal development. If you read 1 book per week, which you can do if you read 1 hour per day, that will translate into 52 books per year, 520 books over 10 years. If you read 520 books to improve yourself and enhance your effectiveness at work in a world where the average person reads less than 1 book per year, do you think it might give you the edge, the critical, winning edge that makes all the difference between success and failure? You bet it would. One book per week would so change the course of your life in a positive way that you would be astonished, and it won't take 10 years. You will begin to see significant changes in the quality of your life and your results within months, sometimes within weeks, sometimes within days. Well, you begin by getting up each morning 2 hours before your first appointment or before you have to be at work, earlier if necessary. Then, instead of reading newspapers or watching television, spend 30 to 60 minutes reading something educational, inspirational, or motivational. Spend the first golden hour of the day feeding your mind with mental protein, not mental candy. Then, before you leave the house, rewrite your major goals and a brief description of your goals for the day. I use a spiral notebook. You can use anything you like. Just a few lines take you a couple of minutes to rewrite those goals and impress them into your mind. This exercise activates your subconscious and gives you a sense of purpose and focus for the hours ahead. Next, and this is very important, listen to educational audio cassettes during traveling time. In your car if you drive, with a portable Walkman if you use public transportation, or if you're flying. The average car owner drives 12,000 to 25,000 miles per year. This is as many as 500 to 1,000 hours per year in the car. This translates into 12.5 to 25 40-hour weeks sitting in the car behind the wheel enjoying prime learning time. This is the equivalent of 1 to 2 university semesters. You can become one of the best educated, most highly motivated, well-informed people of our society simply by listening to audio cassettes in your car. Audio cassette learning has rightly been called the most important development in education since the invention of the printing press, and I agree. I have gotten so much out of audio cassette programs by some of the finest thinkers, writers, and speakers alive in America today that I cannot estimate the value. I would say that it has been worth easily $100,000 to me just simply listening to audio cassette programs, and I know many people who will say it's worth far more. If you're not listening to audio cassettes in your car continually, you're missing hundreds of hours of prime learning time, and every hour you miss is going to cost you in lost earnings and diminished potential. The third leg of the triangle of self-development, the first two are reading and listening to audio cassettes, is courses and seminars put on by people who have achieved success in the subjects they are talking about. And this is important. Many people feel that university courses are an extremely important part of moving ahead or furthering your career, but what I have found in my years at the university is most of the courses are theoretical, taught by people who have no practical experience whatever, and are simply teaching out of a textbook. This is not to denigrate university education, but it is certainly not a substitute for practical knowledge and practical experience. Attend at least 4 seminars or courses per year, one every 3 months. Take all the training you can get and never stop learning. If your company supplies you with training opportunities, take every single one of them. And if your company does not, remember, you are totally 100% responsible for your ongoing education. The whole purpose of an education, even up to university level, is simply to teach you how to learn. From then on, it's up to you to apply the lessons.